Oh, this is so beautiful. I can't look away. Oh, this house is so awesome. I get tears in my eyes just looking at it. It's so beautiful. I try to look away and it's like I can't bear to do it. Nope. Anyway, enough of that. Hello everybody and welcome to the MindCrack server. We're on the vanilla one today. And today is going to be somewhat of a special episode. We're going to go take a tour of the things I've built on the server and just sort of reminisce on some of the things we've done on here and get kind of like some closure. Because if you guys haven't heard already, we're planning on starting season 4 of MindCrack any day now. Like when 1.6 comes out, we're going to start a new map and start fresh. And I am very, very excited for it. You guys have no idea how long I've been waiting for this. It's been a few months now since we've decided to reset the map, and we're just wrapping things up at this point now. So yeah, new map, very exciting. You may have been able to tell I haven't really built anything on here in the last couple months. And I didn't think the reset, like the plans for the reset, was going to really stop me from building, but I gotta say, I did lose interest in building once I found out that we were definitely going to reset. So I've just been derping around on the server since then, just doing pranks and whatnot. Still having fun on here. Just the episodes, there hasn't been as many lately, and that's why. So when the new server comes out, or the new map starts, I think we're going to get back into gear here, and I think a lot of the guys are going to be back into gear, and it's going to be very exciting, I think. Definitely looking forward to it. But for those of you that don't know much about the server, I'll give you a little history on it. Right now we are in Season 3. Season 1 of MindCrack was Guude's single-player Let's Play, and then Season 2, he started a multiplayer server with a few of the guys. Some of them are still on the server to this date. But then at around 1.8, I think it was beta 1.8, they started a new map here on this server, Season 3. I was not with them when they started here. I didn't join until a few months after that, once I did the race for wool with Co-Star and Guude and BWO and Avidia and Docyam and all those guys. Then that was my first time to really get to talk to Guude and BWO, and it wasn't long after that that Guude actually invited me to come play on the server, and I I was pretty excited. I didn't really know what I was going to do on here, and somehow I made it work. I think we've had a lot of fun on this server. So first up, we're going to head on over to my cave, and sort of the history behind this. I joined the server. Didn't really have plans on making a series on here, but did some pranks and stuff. Eventually, I started releasing some episodes on the server here, and it became a regular series for me. But when I first started on the server, I didn't exactly have a place. Like, I didn't have a plot in the spawn village there to settle down with. So I just went out and tried to... I can't leave. There we go. Tried to find a place to call my own, because I kept dying on here. I kept running out of food and starving to death and whatnot. So one day I finally just decided I'm going to go caving for as long as I can without dying. And then if I get a bunch of stuff, I'm going to settle down to anything I find interesting. And that's where this cave came in. I found a double cave spider spawner, which is what's behind here. And there's another one somewhere. I forget where the other one is, actually. It's been so long. Is it? Man, I can't believe I can't remember where it is. Oh. Oops. Wait a minute. There's this one here. Anyway. Oh, here's the other one. This one's all shut off from the cave, I think. Yeah, it is. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so I found the two cave spider spawners, and I decided I'm gonna set up shop here. You know, I'll be able to get XP from the spawners, and I'm gonna be able to get food from the spider eyes, and I'm gonna be safe. Because I kept dying so many times on here. Like I would go mining, and then I'd die, and I'd lose everything because I didn't have a bed set or anything. So I figured this is a good place to settle down, and that's where I've been ever since, really. I didn't really put much thought into my base location, and I think because of that, I never really felt like building here, because it's more of a warehouse. Like if I ever need resources or tools or stuff, this is where I come. And yeah, um, but this has treated me well. This place. Uh, I've said this in a video recently, but my main goal on with this series wasn't to build exactly. That's just what I've been doing as filler, just random projects every so often. The main focus of the series is to do stuff with other guys, and that's what I've been doing for the most part. So today I don't actually have a lot to show you because I haven't built much on the server, but we'll go through what we got. So I settled down here. The very first thing I did actually build was the mob system up here. This is my first project on the server. Giant mob system. This is the first time I built this style. Ooh, these cows are loud. And like a lot of things I've been doing, I use the server to do my experimental builds. So this was an experiment, and I like this style, so I decided to build in my LP as well afterwards, and I improved it a bit in my LP world. So I built that. That's been my main source of gunpowder and that on the server. We'll go take a look at some other stuff up here though. It's my cow farm, my main source of food. Just basically stuff to keep me going. If I need trees, I cut them down here. Pumpkins are there. I set up this building a long time ago. Most people have no idea what this is. I've never told anybody, except for like Zisto, I think. This was a flower farm though. So I would take the bones from my mob system and I would make it a dark room, and then the flowers would get uprooted instantly, and I have a huge stash of them. Pretty much since the beginning on this map that I never used. I thought I would use them. I was going to use them to prank Guude because he had that weird flower thing going on for a long time, where every time he would log in he would have more flowers at his home. I wanted to go crazy, but I never did end up doing that. Then over this way we have our crazy sugarcane farm. Again, it was kind of an experimental thing. I wanted to try exploit the villager system, and we all know how that went. They ended up patching it not long after that, because I think a lot of people started doing it. But yeah, huge sugarcane farm. Crazy. And then with this, I set up this little weird mushroom house thing. This thing looks so ugly now that I look at it. But I set this up, and this is where all my emeralds came from on the server, which I never did end up using because every opportunity to use them, the people that actually wanted emeralds always set really high prices, so it wasn't something I ever considered. But there's this drop location here where all the paper I would harvest would fall, and I would stand in that spot, and all these dispensers. I wonder if we can turn this on still. Oh yeah, it still works. Oh, that sounds crazy. So, hundreds of dispensers. You have no idea how long it took to make all these, because you gotta... These are the worst item to make in the game, because you gotta use a bow in the crafting recipe. So that was fun. But yeah, pretty cool. So all the paper come down here, and I would click on the villager, and I could trade all the paper I wanted for emeralds as long as I didn't leave the window back then. But that's been changed. I think I have, yeah, there's a tunnel here too. I experimented with setting up underwater bases over there, like creating air pockets underwater, but I think this one caved in. And then we have our little quick way back to the cave over here, which I use to... Oh no! Dang it. Alright, I caught the minecart. So it ends up going back to by my portal. It's actually a little longer than I remembered. I haven't rode on this track in a long time. And it stops here. Alright. Further this way, I set up a huge long track that connects to one of Arcus's really long tracks. And that's how I ended up getting the villagers over here, because before you couldn't do that weakness potion and golden apple thing to get villagers. You have to actually get them from villages. You know what? I've had this sword in here forever. I'm going to actually use it. I think I have a super pick too. Yeah, I'm going to... You know, the server's ending soon, the map, so I'm going to use this stuff. I got my super pick, and I got my super sword. Let's actually try to use them. This is my main place. This is my... The bulk of my wealth is in this chest here. I never did get as much as Never's, I don't think, but I did end up getting quite a few diamonds at the end of this. Over this way, we have the slime farm, which is another big build I ended up doing. Again, as sort of an experimental thing and as a filler between episodes. There's a switch over here to turn it on. That goes to all these pistons that turn the water off, and then mobs can spawn on the spawning pads here. And I think it worked okay for a while, but then after a while, it seemed like the slime spawning algorithm changed or something, and I wasn't getting nearly as many slime spawning in here. I'm not sure why. This is my old bread maker when that idea first became popular. I built one down here just to see how it works on SMP. So that's about it for our cave base here. Again, there's not a lot to see. There is this over here as well. This was for lava storage. And this was my original reed farm before I built that giant one. And I think down here also, something I never really explained. When I first joined the server, I built this rail line that goes all the way to spawn, which is about 1,700 blocks. And I built that because when I joined the server, there was no free spots in the Nether Hub. It was still at its first extension level only. We didn't have that second one or the third one like we have today. So I was using that until I finally was able to build this nether tunnel, which I really like this thing. I think mycelium and stone brick look really cool together. And this was supposed to be a mushroom farm as well, and I think it might be hooked up somewhat, but never really finished that. Further this way is my next section. This is to the jungle base I was working on, and when I finally got it to the point where it was all cleared out, it's like that's when we started talking about resetting the server. So I never really felt like working on it afterwards. And I didn't really have a plan for it either, so sadly this giant hole I dug kind of went to waste. But we'll go over there. Check it out. I have learned something very valuable from this base, so On the new server, I'm not going to be building underground. I am done with that. I think what it is, I really like my man cave in my single player world, and I wanted to keep that feeling here, but you know what? It's better just to do something different, because I tried that twice, really. I built underground twice, and that was a huge mistake. But this place is kind of cool for what we got done on it. Huge, giant digging project. I built this one room, and I really, really liked how this room looks on the inside. If we could have kept this look going throughout an entire base, it would have been awesome. But, yeah. I spent a long time making this one room alone, and I didn't really know how to do the outside. I'm not totally happy with how the outside turned out, but anyway, so we got the 3 rings down here. Did I say this already? On the new server, I'm gonna build above ground for sure, and it's gonna be, we're gonna try to stay a little more focused on our builds instead of, hello, try out the sword. Oh no. Okay, so it's not a one-hit kill. We're gonna try to stay focused more so on the next map, and I'm gonna definitely have a base, and whenever I need filler episodes, I'll work on that instead of doing all this random stuff like we did on here. This is a mob system I built. Hey. This is a more recent build. I'm having the hardest time jumping today. Now, can we get up without dying? Yes, we can. Whoa. So, this is just a bunch of spawning pads that go up about 20 blocks or so. And I've gotten a ton of gunpowder from here, too. It's actually pretty effective for how small the mob farm is already. So there's that here as well, and I think that's about it for this base. So if we keep going further down my minecart line in the nether here, we come to this other project of mine that I worked on for a little bit. This is the Wither Skeleton Farm. It's not really super high-tech place or anything. It seems Etho has done some stuff here too. Oh yeah, okay. So this is it. This is the spawning pads here for the Wither Skeletons. I had some help from .m to make this as well. Worked pretty good. Etho also helped a little bit on this project. He built this room at the very end. Go down here. Just to enchant stuff. We got brewing stuff here. And, you know, storage and whatnot. Now, back at the spawn village here, one of my projects was this, the pet shop, which I never did end up finishing. I hate to say it, but I'm not too sad about it, to be honest. To be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't know if you know this, but the only reason I built this originally was so that I could do that joke where I stole the quartz from the quartz shop and brought it over here. The whole point to this building was just to do that. Then I started having some fun with it too, with this redstone circuitry stuff with the redstone update, but then that ended up changing and it got broken, and yeah. Never really finished it. Story of my life. So we got the pet shop, and then over further this way is another thing I built a long time ago, which I almost forgot about actually. I think every server should make one of these at least. The ice tray. This thing is really handy. I'm guessing the water buckets are all messed up on it right now. Oh, maybe not. The idea is with this, you come here if you want to get some... Do we have a silk touch? Oh, we do. Cool. So you make that go down. Those make the water freeze quicker to make ice. This is to collect ice, this thing here. And then you can go. Collect ice real easy. Snow doesn't break quickly with a pick, so you don't have to worry too much about wrecking the floor and all that. And then you take all the ice out. You put the land back up like that, and that will allow... Or no, what you gotta do... You have that lowered. You hit these buttons, and it shoots the water out of the buckets, and then it picks it back up. That creates an infinite spring that spreads all the way to the back corner there. And then when the water is all done spreading, you put that up, and then it'll freeze quickly. So that was the idea behind the ice tray here. And after again, experimental project, after I built one here, I think I built one in my LP world, because it turned out well. If we go down, there's the wiring, which could have been made simpler, but it works. Works pretty good. So that's about it at the spawn village. Let's head on over to the nether again. Alright, so we're back to the nether hub here. This section of the nether hub I've always viewed as like the old geezers on the server. That's how I've always kind of seen it. I know some of the guys are really proud to be on this level, but it's pretty old and boring. Down here is the cool section of the nether hub. This is the second extension, where this is where a lot of the guys came after I joined. I was one of the first ones in here, and then like most of these guys joined after I joined the server, or rejoined, like Avidia. We got Anders in here. Jay Sano, I think he just moved to here. Zisto, Generic B, Pyro, or no, that's Pyro, that's a Generic B. They look the same. Milby, and MC Gamer used to be in here too, but I moved him. The thing I wanted to point out down here, though, is my entrance to this I really like. It's a bunch of lamps, but they randomly change and create different patterns based on where there's 4 chickens. There's 4 chickens wandering around, and they're either going to be on a pressure plate or not, and that's what changes the pattern. And it's pretty cool. Over here is a track I made for the nether hub, which for some reason the minecarts always disappear from. I don't know why, but they do. Still have not solved that mystery. And I guess I probably never will. But that takes you to the other side. This is the third extension to the nether hub, and this was a big project for me. I built most of this. BWO, he built the chandelier here. We got the shops up here. Sadly, a lot of this never got used because only 2 or 3 people moved into here, and it came late within the server's life, so not a lot happened in here like I would have liked. Ideally, if the second extension got these shops and stuff, I think they would have been used, but over here they never really did. But yeah, got the nether hub. It turned out pretty cool, I think. And that's about it in the nether. So we're going to go... Actually, the next place we're going to go is one of my favorites. And I didn't take the track. I should have took the track. Over this way is my entrance to the dual blaze farm. This thing is pretty cool. And I forgot my minecarts. Go snag this one. The dual blaze farm is cool, but I also like the ride to it. It's pretty neat. Let me in. So I'll take you guys through it. I made a snow and ice themed minecart track here. Ooh. It's a little bit disorienting at the start. spiral. That takes you to the tunnel here. This looks pretty cool. I like this a lot. And it goes to a long diagonal section here, which I'll skip because it goes for quite a ways before we finally arrive. Alright, and it finally takes us to here. The dual blaze farm is about 400 blocks away on X and Z, and this is the entrance to it. We come up through the lava up to here. Of all the things I built on this server, I think this looks the coolest. It's like this caged-in area, safe from gas, and let's go on the outside first. Go over here. This was actually a really important room for me. This is where I kept most of my stuff while I built it. And there's still some good stuff here too. Blaze rods. More blaze rods, more blaze rods. Lots of blaze rods. Let's go. I'm gonna drink this, because I have a feeling I'm gonna die. Let's go take an outside look first, see what it actually looks like. So I had this idea for a look where it looked like it was hanging from the ceiling in the nether, and I attached all these chains to it. Then I started mining out the ground below it, but that was taking forever, so I didn't get too far. The water came from Vintage Beef. He got ice on the server with Silk Touch back before that was patched, and then if you broke ice in the nether it would create water, but then they made it so you couldn't get ice with Silk Touch. And of course now in the game you can get it with Silk Touch, but you can't create water from it in the nether, so kind of went through a bunch of changes. These rooms here are where the blaze actually spawn. There's spawners in those. This is a wire room over here. Over there. I don't know if we can actually look at it too well. All the wiring is protected from gas. I made sure of that. Which is pretty tough to do because redstone can be destroyed if it gets hit in the corner of a block. Over here is the potion room. Again, I think we can see some of the wiring down here. And that is about as far as I got with the blaze farm. I was going to continue to expand it, but I never did. This is what it's like inside. This is the potion room. That opens up. Ooh. There's a lot of gunpowder here still. I forgot about that. Nether warts. Sugar. I just kept all the stuff in the brewing stands and you just drop the bottles in. It was quicker that way. I think this was back before you could shift click stuff into the brewing stands too even. Some extra ingredients. Never did actually fill that stuff, it looks like. Go out and it closes. All the wiring is contained underneath. I got the blaze farms over here. Few potions left. The idea with this is poison potions inside here. There's another spawner over here with the same. Oh yeah, as it is right now, you see those two blocks there? Those are preventing the blaze from coming down here and filling up the chamber. You have to press one of these buttons. I forget which one. I'm guessing that one. Yeah, now they can fall down. Whoa. They weren't able to shoot through the stairs before either, so that was a new thing. You can definitely do that now. And they fill up down into these areas, and then what you do, you hit this button, shoots a poison potion at them, and it also closes it off so more can't fall down. And it shuts off some of the water streams inside too. And the poison potion gets them down to 1-hit kill, and you just can hit them or throw a damage splash potion on them. Ooh. Pretty cool. Used to come here a lot, but then we built the XP farm in the end, or Nevers did, and that's the main source of XP on the server. The blaze rods are cool though, because you could use them for cooking stuff. Then over here is an enchanting station. That's what it looks like on the outside. Of course, enchanting has changed, where you don't need, what is it, 30 bookcases, I think it was before. Now you only need 15. That sets to 0, I think. Or no, that sets to level 30. Then different buttons make different amounts of pistons to come down, which blocks the bookcases. And gives you different levels for enchanting. What did this one do? That's weird. What's the difference between that one and this one? Maybe something changed with that. Oh, I think that one just... Well... It used to be different, I promise. I don't know why it's the same now. And that's just a reset there. So, that's the dual blaze farm. I think I only got one more thing to show you guys. And that's the trivia game, guys, here in Guude land. The blaze farm and the trivia game are my two favorite things I've done on the server. The trivia game's probably my favorite just because the redstone is very complicated to it, and it was a fun challenge. The way this works, we'll do one quick run through, and we'll see if I remember the answers to these questions. It's been a long time. This is a bunch of questions that somebody submitted to me. Somebody by Lamdani? Lamadani? Lamdani? I don't know how to say that. He sent me these questions and I put them in the machine, programmed it in, and we're going to take the test, I guess. What are the odds of sheep spawning pink? I think it's B, but I can't remember. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So if you get the question right, it lights up at the bottom, and then it moves on to the second question, or the next question. And you pick A, B, C, or D with these buttons here. Next one. Which one of these blocks cannot be picked up by an Enderman? Sandstone. Oh yeah. Number 3, which of these mobs cannot exist as a baby? Skeleton. That took me a while. When was Harrowbine removed for the first time? In patch notes, that is, I think it was A. Who knows? Oh yeah. How many XP points does a witch drop? Pretty sure it was 5. Yep. Number 6. Which of these mobs has the most life? Zombie, witch, Enderman, spider. I'm gonna go with Enderman. And which of these features was never added to the game jar? Gears, quiver, locked chest, the sky dimension. C was definitely in. D was definitely in. It's either quiver or gears, I think. I'm going to say quiver. Oh man. Why does the creeper model have its shape? Because of failed pig model. Yep. Almost done. Which of these blocks is most resistant to explosions? Jukebox, monster spawner, diamond ore, or iron door? I'm pretty sure it's a jukebox. And I made this test up too, so I know the answers, or I used to know them. How long is a Minecraft day in real time? I worded this question wrong, I remember, because a day is 10 minutes, but I meant like a full day, day and night, which is, whoops, C, I believe, 20 minutes. Yep. And finally, last question. Question 11, how powerful is a max power redstone signal? Do 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 do. See. Fireworks? Oh yeah. That's how I can tell how many people use this after I built it, is how many fireworks are left, and I don't think too many people have used it. Based on that, yeah, that's still pretty much full. Let's go take a look at the wiring one last time. This thing was cool. This was something I tried to build a long time ago in my Let's Play world, and I never did finish it. I was building it in 1.73, and then 1.8 came out, and I switched worlds, and I never completed the project. So I was really happy I was able to finish it on this server, at least. Got all the notes and stuff. There's actually quite a bit of logic involved with this build. And this is the memory tape that keeps track of the answers over here. And yeah, good times. Good times. I've had a lot of fun on this server this season. I'm definitely looking forward to the next season though. Like out of all the guys, I think I have the least to lose. And it's going to be a nice kick in the pants to actually build something that is a little bit more memorable. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This is not going to be my final episode of the season though. I got at least one more episode I want to make. I have something kind of special planned. But until then, I guess that's it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the tour, and I will see you next episode.